Hello. Hi, Lorem. Howdy do. Right now, I'm just setting up the stream. Hey, your local theater kid. How are you guys? I'm doing pretty well. Lorem, I feel like it's been a minute since I saw you. Mainly because my stream hours were like really off before. Hi, St. Brown. Welcome, welcome, everybody appearing. Alright. Give me a moment and I'll set up YouTube chat so that I can actually appear like over here. I'm doing pretty well. Oh, jeez. Don't worry about that echo. An MK8 stream? Is that Mortal Kombat? Were you enjoying that, Lorem? I was having a pretty good day. Today has been such a lazy day for me. Oh, Mario Kart 8. That makes way more sense. Today's been such a lazy day for me. Since I'm off work, I was just vibing the whole time, doing some writing stuff. I actually like got to work on the stream a little late because of it, because I was just like so chill. I'm like 2 hours ago, I'm like, man, I actually got to set up the stream, so I had to like force myself to get up and do stuff. Oh, you have a fever, Melody. I hope you get better. No, you got Michael Mell in your school's production of BMC. Let's go. That's so hype, actually. Oh my gosh, that's genuinely so cool. You gotta tell us how it goes. Oh yeah, Lorem, you weren't here, I don't think, for the Be More Chill musical reaction. That's a character from that. Man, it's extreme role. I can only imagine. Man, that's actually so cool. I really wish I did like theater when I was in like high school, but I was part of choir, and I was doing like vocational stuff as well. I just didn't have time, which is very sad. Oh, Melody says, be sure to read the stories in the description of the video before watching the songs. Okay, that's good to know. I'll make sure to do that. Also, wow, we have a lot of people here today. Okay. Well, I guess people are excited. Let's just jump into it then. All right. So, boom. This is what we're reacting to. Lydia the Bard. I have heard some Lydia the Bard stuff way back when. I think you can actually see that I've watched 2, 3, 4 of these. Oh, 5. I don't remember watching this, but I've seen a couple of them. I don't really remember them at all. But yeah, we'll check it. This is Disney princesses, but they're villains. I feel like I've gotten this in my recommendations for years at this point, and I just like never got around to watching any of them. So I mean, perfect time. We have it here together that we can all watch it together. That's what I'm trying to say. All right. I'm getting an odd little thing. Tinkerbell and Alice are your favorites? Nice, alright. Oh, jeez. Sorry. So many echoes. I'm trying to set up different things. Okay. We'll start from the top. Arabian Nights. Now, you said to read the descriptions before we go. This is Jasmine's villain song. Song Jasmine sing if she took over Agrabah and turned into the villain. Like she killed Jafar, locked her father in prison, and rejected Aladdin to rule the kingdom by herself, and now power is absolutely gone to her head. There's been a revolution, and the people rose up with her, and now Agrabah is burning. And we end the film with her singing this song, and it's all come full circle. Oh, okay. So she just went like power hungry and was like, no, I will rule. I guess. All right. Let's hear it then. I'm excited.
Imagine a land, it's a faraway place where the caravan camels roam. where you wander among every culture and tongue. It's chaotic, but hey, it's home.
I just realized, isn't Arabian Nights like the first song in the movie? So having it be in this like twisted version, be the final song, is very fitting, actually.
When the wind's from the east and the sun's from the west and the sand in the glass is right.
Ooh.
Come on down, stop on by, hop a carpet and fly to another Arabian night.
Her voice is so good. Oh my goodness. That immediately, like, that took me off guard a little bit. It's like, I wish I knew words to describe things, but it's just very good.
As you wind through the streets of the fabled bazaars with the cardamom cluttered stalls, you can smell every spice while you haggle the price of the silks and the satin shawls.
It's been a minute since I've heard this song, but from what it feels like, the lyrics aren't that different. It's just being sung evilly, you know? Which I guess really goes to show presentation is everything. Do something, say the exact same thing differently, and suddenly the vibes are completely different. Yeah, it's the same lyrics so far. Alright, good.
The music that plays as you move through a maze in the haze of your pure delight. You're caught in the dance, you're lost in the trance of another Arabian night. Arabian nights, like Arabian days, more often than not are hotter than hot in a lot of good ways.
Wait, that line fits so like good with the little story blurb that we read. Because remember, in this point of this potential villain movie, the place would be burning and on fire right now. I think I'm gonna be sipping for the voice the entire stream. I wish you luck. Oh boy. Nah, go off. I understand.
Arabian nights, like Arabian dreams. This mystical land of magic and sand is more than it seems. There's a road that may lead you to good or to greed through the power your wishing commands. Let the darkness unfold or find fortunes untold, but your destiny lies in your hands.
Oh. I didn't expect the deep voice of the... This is like the Cave of Wonders, right? Where they find the lantern. Oh my goodness.
Arabian nights, like Arabian days. They seem to excite, take off and take flight.
Theater kid. Bro. Oh, you're on call. Say hi for me. That's so funny.
To shock and amaze. Arabian nights, neath Arabian moons. A fool off his guard could fall and fall hard out there on the dune.
I probably should have made this full stream now that I think about it. Okay, so this is based off of like the thing. It seems like this is the oldest one. Are most of these just gonna be like singing the same song but like evilly? Because if so, I'm gonna have a hard time like talking about it. No? Okay, thank you. Great. Or wait, were you saying no to theater kid? Okay, wait. Elsa's villain song. Let's read the story a little bit. Into the Unknown. Wait, I actually love Into the Unknown. I think I like obsessed over this song for a while. She changes the lyrics later on and sometimes makes completely original songs. That's so hype. Okay, so when I first heard the song, it sounded to me like a very mournful piece. I agree, I think it is. Almost like something was about to happen that she didn't want, but was inevitable. Which is true. I actually saw an animatic using this song where the singer was essentially led away by this fairy-like call into jumping off a cliff. So, very fitting, I think. A mournful acceptance of something really awful on the way. So in my mind, it was like Anna was no longer there, and Elsa's been left alone. Taken over by grief and anger, she hears the call of her powers telling her to freeze everything, get rid of everyone, and start again. She doesn't want to do it, and doesn't want to let her powers get the better of her, but without Anna around to help, she knows there's no point in trying to control them. They'll get the better of her eventually, making this really a very sad transfer song from her being a victim into becoming a villain, but also still a victim, if you get me. Yeah, like a victim to her own powers. I got it. Okay, cool. What if Anna had died? Oh, they're also writing it here. Leaving Elsa to deal with the call of the cold alone.
I can hear you, but I won't. Some look for trouble, while others don't.
Ooh, that way you're saying it.
There's 1,000 reasons I should go about my day and ignore your whispers, which I wish would go away. Oh.
By the way, do you guys know if Lydia makes the art? Because the art so far has been pretty good.
Oh. You're not a voice, you're just a ringing in my ear. And if I heard you, which I don't, I'm spoken for, I fear.
Wait, actually, I really like that change to the lyrics. I think she commissions artists. Wonderful, love it. All the art's been so good. Yeah, minor key. Because in the original, like, that part, there's, like, more force to it. You're not a voice. And, like, you know, the music in the back gets like, stronger and stronger. Here, it seems, you could tell it's way sadder.
Everyone I've ever loved is here within these walls. I'm sorry, secret siren, but I'm blocking out your calls. I've had my adventure, I don't need something new. I'm afraid of what I'm risking if I follow you into the unknown. Into the unknown. Into the unknown.
Oof. Changing that from like an explosion of emotion of, you know, like the almost scream of Into the Unknown into just this very quiet, man. I could actually easily imagine this. like it's very evocative of the kind of scene that this would be part of. Because you know we got the little description at the beginning, so my mind is just going like a million miles per hour, thinking of like, wow, this movie would be so good. A movie where they actually made Elsa the villain, which by the way I think she was in the original draft, as it was based off of a poem, like a story, where the ice queen was like evil. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure. So in this, they do make her a villain, but like more sympathetic still. I like it.
What do you want? 'Cause you've been keeping me awake. Are you here to distract me so I make a big mistake? Or are you someone out there who's a little bit like me? Who knows deep down I'm not where I'm meant to be? Every day's a little harder as I feel my power grow. Don't you know there's part of me that longs to go into the unknown?
I love that. Disney needs more good villain films. I was gonna say I agree, but I'm like thinking about all the villains, and I'm like, how do you get a classic Disney villain, you know, with like all the best songs, the most bombastic stuff, and root for them? Because a lot of the times, the part of the thing that makes them like good as like the villains that they are is the fact that they're kind of just evil. Like you sometimes they have like justifications, but like generally they're pretty much just evil. And I feel like part of the reason why we don't get that anymore is the fact that a lot of the Disney villains nowadays are more like, it's more complicated. They aren't actually like evil. Making the protagonist that becomes a villain, like their songs. Yeah, I'm trying to think of how they could do that in a way that that would be like a satisfying move. I guess if they do it a villain in the whole like, I have to change the paradigm forcefully, as in like, you know, the world is messed up and I have to break it so that it can get fixed. And like a character who goes through that arc, I feel like that could work pretty well. We'll workshop this as we go.
Into the unknown, into the unknown.
JD Core, true.
Are you out there? Do you know me? Can you feel me? Can you show me? Where are you going? Don't leave me alone. How do I follow you into the unknown?
I love that. The piano becoming emotional for that one part. I know, right? I love music. Honestly, same. Love music. Music's like my favorite thing. I've mentioned it before. Music is such like a primal thing for like humanity. It taps you in like the deepest part of your like core and emotions and stuff. Like it just gets in there. A big example that I remember is actually a while back. I should probably look up on how this has gone. Scientists and like doctors were using like music to help people with like dementia, because if you played songs from like their past and their childhood, it would like help their memory, which just goes to show that music is primal. Like it's like a core part of us in a way. I know, right? I was like, it's so cool. Like the pattern and all that stuff of music, just it connects to you. All right, I'm geeking out. We gotta get through this today, hopefully. All right, story. Okay, so we meet Ariel 3 years after the events of Little Mermaid, except Ursula won. Okay. Ursula has married Eric, and Ariel has no idea that the woman Eric married is Ursula in disguise, and he's under her spell. As far as she's aware, Eric shunned her for another woman. Oof. Very, like, tragic misunderstanding. Ariel is now under Ursula's curse, as she wasn't able to uphold her end of Ursula's deal, and remains under curse for 3 years until King Trident discovers a way to release her. What was Ursula's curse, if anyone can help me remember? Because I know that Ursula took her voice, and if he couldn't manage to marry him, what was going to happen? I only geek out, so loser geek or whatever. Oh my goodness. So is Ariel gonna be silent in the song? Good question, because that's what I was thinking. Part of it was the fact that, or is that what they're saying here, that she gets her voice back from with King Trident? Well, whilst under the curse, Ariel becomes more and more bitter towards Eric and all humans, blaming them for her misery, which slowly turns her heart darker and darker. You know, which is kind of more accurate to the original myth of like Ariel. Was it Ariel or just like the mermaid? Whatever. The original myth of the mermaid, I'm pretty sure, ends with the mermaid realizing, throwing herself back into the ocean and becoming sea foam because he's like, I'm heartless and you cannot love me, or something. It was something like that. Something about the fact that she was a mermaid and not a human meant that she was like, she didn't have a soul or something, and so she died, and so she can't be loved. I'm paraphrasing like multiple layers here. Upon her release, she embraces darkness. Her cave now full of things she has stolen from sailors. She's drowned, but it isn't enough. Now more siren than mermaid, she hatches a plan to get revenge. She's gonna steal her father's trident and become part of their world, except she plans on dethroning and killing Eric, taking over and forcing the humans to obey her every whim. No longer will mermaids be treated as monsters. She wants more. She's gonna see them dancing to her and watch them burn after what was done to her. It's their time to take over now, and Ariel will stop at nothing until every human is forced under her rule. Interesting. Okay.
Look at this stuff, isn't it neat?
It is.
Wouldn't you think my collection's complete? Wouldn't you think I'm the girl who has everything? Look at this
Can she, like, control animals as well? I guess if she's a more siren than mermaid, the singing controls people.
Treasures untold. How many wonders can one cavern hold? Looking around, do you think? Sure. She's got everything.
Okay.
I've got heartache and sorrows aplenty. All this streaming, and what is it for?
Okay, so now we're actually getting some, like, lyrical changes in the singing. Okay. Or changes to the lyrics. Probably makes more sense of a way to say it.
Watch them hope while I haven't any. Well, I'm done. It's my time. I want more. I wanna be where the people are. I wanna see them dancing, walking around on those, what do you call them? Feet.
You know what would be interesting? If this whole song if this was, like, presented as a musical, right? And then Act 1 is the whole, like, you know, Disney movie, generally the same, except she loses. And then this is the first song of Act 2, where it's a reprise of Part of Your World. This played at the very beginning.
Flipping your fins, you don't get too far. Legs are required for jumping, dancing, strolling along down the... What's that word again? Street. Up where they walk, up where they run, up where they stay all day in the sun, wandering free. Wish I could be part of that world. What would I give if I could live out of these waters? What would I pay to spend a day warm on the sand? Betcha on land, they understand, but they don't reprimand their daughters. Bright young women, sick of swimming, ready to stand.
I have to say, whenever I'm listening to songs like these, I just get reminded of how much I really should, like, pick up the piano again and start learning how to do it. Because I love piano so much. I love hearing people play the piano. My goodness, it would be... I gotta relearn it. It's been too long since I've properly practiced. And my fingers desire to play. My goodness.
Ready to know what the people know. Ask them my questions and get some answers. What's a fire and why does it? What's the word? Burn! Take my turn.
Oh, I love that line, actually. What's a fire and why does it burn? Which is what she wants to do to the surface world. I could imagine her singing that part as she's, like, looking through the water, seeing the reflection of, like, a building burning or something, you know?
I love to explore the shores above.
My throat, my goodness, I'm sorry. I could be part of that world. Oh. Alright. We're moving on. Rapunzel. This is the one I actually heard way back when. Probably because I really liked the Rapunzel movie. But let's hear the story. I don't know if I know this. Night has fallen. A chill is in the air. And we meet Rapunzel sitting in her tower. 6 months ago, Flynn Rider sailed away after stealing her crown and abandoning her forever. No, Flynn! You were the criminal that we always knew you could be. No. You were the criminal people said you were. That's so sad. Only her mother could understand how she felt and help patch her back together. Mother was always right after all. The outside world is no place for Rapunzel. With her faith in humanity destroyed, Rapunzel confided in her mother, sharing her heartbreaking grief with the only person she believed ever really loved her. Mother Gothel saw an opportunity and stoked the growing hatred in Rapunzel's heart until she despised the outside world and humanity just as much as she did. The world is dark and selfish and cruel. If it sees even the slightest ray of sunshine, it destroys it. Vulnerable and heartbroken, and it was rather easy to warp and manipulate Rapunzel into becoming someone unrecognizable. No! Gaslit, gatekept, or whatever. That sounds tragic. Kind of like an echo chamber. If it's the only other person around there, like around you, is the person making you like, no, you really should hate humanity, actually. It's our protagonist never does learn that Flynn was set up by her own mother and that he didn't actually betray her. Oh, okay, so we're still going with that he didn't actually betray her. She just like knocked him out or hired somebody to knock him out, and they put him on a boat away with the crown. After being tricked by Mother Gothel, Flynn is quickly caught and sent to prison with no opportunity to explain himself to Rapunzel. This is where our story departs from the original, as Flynn never managed to escape. After 6 months, eventually he's released on good behavior. Finally can make his way to Rapunzel and explain what happened. By now, though, it's far too late. Rapunzel has been stewing in her grief and bitterness for too long, and now her heart is turned as dark as her mother's. No one is safe, certainly not Flynn Rider, and she will have her revenge. Oh boy. I always hate that kind of stuff. She never saw the sun pattern in her drawings.
I can't believe I let myself think he really loved me, Pascal.
Oh, it's an animatic too. Let's go.
I mean, who can blame him? I've been locked up in a tower my whole life. Who'd want someone like that? I should have stayed.
I mean, based off of Into the Woods, not many people actually, because being locked in a tower kind of messes you up mentally because of the isolation and the lack of education and lack of interacting with people. It's pretty bad.
With Mother, then none of this would have happened. Mother knows best, should have listened to your mother. It's a scary world out there. Mother knows best, one way or another. Things always go wrong, I swear. Gullible, naive, positively grubby, ditzy, and a bit, well, vague.
Oh, having her sing this about herself is that kind of hurts.
Plus,
I wonder where her mother is right now. She's like just out collecting stuff while she sings to herself.
I believe he never really loved me. I'm just saying, 'cause I loved you. Mother's right here. Mother will protect me. I'll do whatever she suggests. Skip the drama. Stay with Mama. Mother knows best.
You know, they said that they're gonna get revenge against Flynn. Is she gonna get revenge against other people as well, like the kingdom, or is just Flynn? Because I don't know how she would get revenge against the kingdom.
People are evil, Pascal. They take advantage of your weaknesses and steal whatever they can before abandoning you. The world is dark and selfish and cruel. If it finds even the slightest ray of...
I really like the I forget what this instrument is called. The music box, like, notes thing. I love that. Why the kingdom though? I don't know. Why not? You know, people in general. That's like the only place where people are right now.
Sunshine.
Also, hey Saint Brown, did I say hi to you? Hi.
It's just me and Mother now. And trust me when I say that Flynn Rider will regret the day he ever crossed me.
It's just Flynn, I think.
All those days watching from the windows, all those years outside looking in, all that time never even knowing just how blind I've been. Now I'm here blinking in the starlight. Now I'm here
You know what? Maybe Mother Gothel's plan about, like, having her hate the outside world isn't the best plan, because what if she hates Flynn so much that I am going to escape the tower again? But this time, it's to kill him, or whatever I'm going to do for revenge. Unless Flynn tells her the truth on his dying breath. No! Don't hurt me like that.
Suddenly I see, standing here, it's so clear, I'm where I'm meant to be, and at last I see
Oh wait, no, I think she is doing literally exactly what I just said.
the light, and it's like your mask has lifted, and at last I see the light, and it's like the sky is new, and it's cold and coarse and cruel, and my world has finally shifted. At last I say,
Alright, she's gone to the kingdom. I guess in this version, she gets to the kingdom pretty easily, because that's not the focus of the story. The focus is getting revenge on Flynn Rider. Also, welcome back, Leader Kid.
let's finish
She's so intimidating with the red eyes.
this.
Ooh. Love that. Did you guys hear that? My goodness, my whole arm just like cracked. My goodness. Like scared me. Alright, Aurora, let's go. Him. Story. This story follows the events of Maleficent in the recent remakes of Sleeping Beauty. I know nothing about the Maleficent remakes, so that tells me nothing about what's going to happen. We all know how this story begins. Aurora received a curse that would send her into a deep sleep on her 16th birthday. She was sent away from home in an effort to prevent the curse from coming true and was raised by 3 fairies in the woods. Lonely and bored, Aurora would regularly sneak away and spend time with another fairy she found in the woods, Maleficent. They spent many afternoons chatting as Maleficent provided a safe haven for Aurora to escape to. The two quickly grew a bond and became like family. Dude, have you ever heard of Grim Salvo? No, I have not. What's that? Or who's that, I guess. Eventually, Aurora's curse was set in motion on her 16th birthday. After being led to the castle, she pricked her finger and fell into a deep sleep. Maleficent, in an effort to break the curse, kissed Aurora on the forehead, and she awoke as the kiss was one of true maternal love. This is where our story takes a turn. Is that what happened in the version called Maleficent? I mean, okay. It's kind of changing the whole story, but alright. Just as Maleficent and Aurora were leaving the castle to return home, an arrow struck Maleficent in the chest, shot by Aurora's father, the king. Fear of those more powerful can make you do awful things. Maleficent died in Aurora's arm. Struck by grief, Aurora ran to the moors to hide away from the world, swearing she would avenge her fallen friend. Eventually, if left to fester, grief can blind even the purest souls. And Aurora swore she would have her revenge and began plotting, blaming the king and his people for the unwarranted hatred that they had for Maleficent that eventually led to her death. She spent the next few months learning how to cast spells and curses, and Maleficent did. The creature in the moors assisting her with her goals. She mastered the curses quite quickly, focusing on the one spinning the wheel with spinning wheels. After some time, Aurora passed. Time had passed. Aurora was ready, and the town had restocked their spinning wheels. They would soon come regret that. We meet Aurora. She walks through the town, singing a cursed lullaby, compelling the townspeople to prick their fingers and fall into a deep sleep, one they won't wake from. I don't know, of all the stories, this is the one that kind of, like, leaves me a little, like, okay. Yeah, the Maleficent remake was actually pretty good, despite the reputation that the live-action Disney remakes wound up getting. I heard that, like, the Maleficent was one of, like, the very few good live action remakes. If this is the summary of the story, though, I could see why it had a generally not super positive reception. I'm like, okay, making Maleficent more complicated is fine, but it's also kind of like, I don't know. This one seems the most changed and out of place. DVH. That's what I'm feeling, right? It's like, okay, I see what you're going with, and I think that's good. It works fine for this, but it's also like, okay. But maybe that's because it's like Aurora is generally such a simple story that really any change that you make feels weird to it, you know? Because it really is a simple story. Aurora is cursed, falls asleep, is awoken by the prince, and, you know, Maleficent is the villain here. But, whatever. Oh. But good music can change my opinion on anything, alright? Oh, that's so haunting. That beginning part, I can just imagine her walking out of, like, the forest, approaching town, and this is the part where she actually arrives into town. Like, you know, the mist surrounding the dark forest that's cursed or whatever.
Needles prick, and your thread of life is finely cut. Weaver sighs her final breath. This fairy tale done, story shut.
My goodness. Agreed, theater kid. Oh, like, oh, wow. You put it. I don't know how to say it better than that. She sings so good. Oh, every part of that is so good. Okay. I really like the line, you know, needle cut, thread cut, or whatever. Because, like, you know, a needle and thread, and also in, like, mythology, there's, like, your thread of fate. And if it's cut, you die. Like, from, like, Greek mythology, I think. Oh, my goodness. I'm like, I can't stop moving. I'm so excited. Oh. In the break.
I know her, a girl full of joy and light and hope. When she was happy and whole, her life full of love and laughter. That girl's dead. She.
Oh man. Ooh. Sing. I really love that in songs, or just in general, when somebody like describes a good person who's like, which is obviously talking about themselves, and they're like, that person's dead. He is no more. He died a little each day. I don't know. I'm all about that. Which is there like a trope name for that? There has to be, because that specific like trope, I vibe with it so hard.
He died long ago, laid in the ground. Now she's lost. It seems another must be found. It's my final song. Sleeping downtown and dream in the dark.
I'm imagining if this was in a movie or like animated, she'd be like on top of like a tower or whatever, looking down upon a city, upon the town, her arms stretched out as brambles spread. I know they said wheels, but in my mind, I'm thinking of like the brambles with they spread through the streets, and each poke of a person immediately like making them fall. Well, imagine the same thing. I'm telling you, great minds think alike. It's so good. Oh, I love that. I changed my mind for what I said at the beginning. This is a masterpiece. I agree. Listen, the simple truth is, presentation is what matters. You can make anything, and I really do mean anything, like good, no matter how bad it is if you just said it out loud, with the right presentation. Because that whole story, I'm like, oh, well, that's a little out of place and odd. But now that I see the song, I'm like, sorry for even questioning you. You were cooking the whole time. Say it louder in the back for the people of Aurora. Oh, don't worry. They, actually, no, they can't hear. They're sleeping right now. Oh, okay. Okay, story. Let's get the story. Oh, see, I left a like on this. I don't even remember watching this, but apparently I did. Alright. Our story starts the same as the original Mulan. In an effort to save her father from dying on the battlefield, tricks the army into thinking she's a man so that she can serve time as a soldier in her father's place. She's trained and become an incredible fighter, slowly falling for General Shang. Our tale takes a turn the original one didn't. Mulan is discovered far earlier in the story and is sent home by Shang. Her father is sent to the front lines in her place, and battles the Huns in the snow, where he sadly perishes. Without Mulan, far more people die in this war than needed to, and Shang's army win, but with countless casualties. Right. Mulan learns of her father's passing and develops a deep hatred towards Shang and the government for allowing such a ridiculous rule to kill their citizens unnecessarily. She shares these thoughts with those in her village and finds those that agree with her. Eventually, her ideology spreads, and people from all over come to her to hear her speak about the change that is needed. Mulan sets out a plan to ensure the world is changed once for all. Her mission is an honorable one, but her heart has turned dark and her ambitions get the best of her. She becomes willing to do whatever it takes, and a lot of the time, whatever it takes pushes you to do things you never thought you would. We meet Mulan a few years after her father's passing. She is trained and created a rebel militia full of men and women preparing to storm the capital and take over the government to create a better world. Shang has risen in the ranks and is in charge of the whole army now, making him enemy number one. But Mulan has lost vision. She will stop at nothing and take out anyone that gets in her way. Sometimes the best intentions become watered down and disappear behind blind admission. She will win, no matter the cost, and no one is safe. I see. So, Mulan is continuing the ancient Chinese tradition of rebelling against the government. Oh, my goodness. That was a very long read. I need like a drink of water for a moment. Oh, Mulan's your favorite? Cool. My goodness. Well, no worries, theater kid. Yap along as much as you want. Alright, Mulan.
Prepare the garrison and send a falcon to the opposition.
Yes, ma'am.
The least we could do is give them a warning. I feel we could use a pep talk before leaving, so here's a rendition of one used by our dear, dear friend, Shang.
Wait, I love that. Literally being like, hey, this is the thing Shang himself said. Let me repeat it to you, but my version. Alright.
The Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. So dumb. Did they send me daughters when I asked for sons? Misogynist. You're the saddest bunch I ever met, but you can bet before we're through, Mister, I'll make a man out of you.
I'm so sorry. The cough misogynist. Like it took a couple seconds to really be like, that's so funny. Like I get it. He's right, objectively, but oh, so funny to me.
God, what did I see in him?
I don't know. Strong.
Cool, collected, but a snake within. Oh, once you find his weakness, we are sure to win. This man's debts are finally due. Time to pay the cost of treachery. Boy, was I full naive for trusting you.
I mean, was there any real betrayal here? It's just that, okay, she got found out. We don't know how early she got found out, just that she was, and she was sent home because it's against the laws. Laws, which, by the way, Shang is not in charge of. He's not the one who decides that women can't be part of the army. It's just the law. Wait, she like, yeah, she didn't like him. He was the romantic interest. There's the whole meme about when Shang discovers that Mulan's like a woman. He's like, I can't believe I loved a woman. Like, there's a whole meme about it. What was I gonna say? Also, I think it's because I very recently saw a video talking about a whole like rebellion thing in China. It was ancient history, of course. There was where one city was protected for like a crazy amount of time against the like outside invaders. Well, I say invaders, but again, it was rebellion. There was a whole situation, and they held that city for so long that they ended up like consuming their own people to keep like holding the city. And it's kind of gruesome. I won't go into a lot of details, but they started with the women, went to the old people. They got rid of like most of the population by the end. Shang, the first bisexual Disney character. Honestly, he really does kind of come off like that.
Now look what you've made me do. See what you've turned me into. My final act is here and then we're through. Down with Shang. You must be sharp as a striking viper. With
the might of a great monsoon. All the strength of a stalking tiger.
Prepare weapons for our war is coming soon. Dream to serve my country, but it turned its back. Seemed I wasn't welcome, and I'm thankful for that. It let me know what my true calling was, to see you dead, this empire through. I'll lose me, but I'm taking you too.
Wait, that's really good character, like, stuff there. Immediately presenting that to a certain degree. She understands that she's going way too far. But it doesn't matter if she, like, falls to the depths of depravity, as long as she takes you down with her. That's petty, and I respect it.
This is it. Before
All right.
me, I see a strong and vicious army full of men and women. Will you fight for me? Most of you won't make it, but it's a sacrifice I'm willing to make. Down with Shang! Down with Shang!
That really is a villain line, by the way. Most of you will die, and I am willing to make that sacrifice. Wait, isn't that literally what Lord Farquaad said in Shrek? Okay, I'm just gonna go out and say it. Some of these songs don't pass the Bechdel test. You're not wrong. you're, you're actually not wrong.
Now this farce is ended. We've sacrificed too much to turn back now.
But the music is good, so I'll give it a pass anyway.
You've come this far defended. They've been in charge too long and now they're back. You must
Oh my goodness. Lydia has lungs on her. Oh my god.
sharp as a striking
King Viper, with all the might of a great monsoon, with all the stealth of a stalking tiger, yeah, before our warriors come in.
I made a new rising from the fire, forged from the hate of the girl you knew. She's burned to ash, left up on the pyre. Mysterious.
I just realized in the background is in Mulan, this is like one of the towns that got burnt down by the Huns. I'm guessing the implication here is that Mulan burned down the town here. You know, as they're like warring towards the main capital. Which is crazy because in the movie this was like a really somber moment that like made, you know, a lot of characters really reflect on this war. It's like, my goodness, this is like horrible. And now here she is doing the same.
As the dark side of, now you really know the dark side of the moon.
That you'll be the love interest for Mulan instead. Thank you for your sacrifice. Sacrifice question mark. All right, what's next? What's next? Oh, this was an amended cover, by the way, apparently. I don't know what that means. Oh, I watched this one, too. Actually, I do remember this one. Meg's villain song. What if the tale's rewritten? What if Megara's sacrifice to Hercules was in vain? What if, instead of forfeiting his own life for Meg's, Hercules was blinded by bitterness over Meg's betrayal, abandoning her to an eternity in the underworld, while he found another, less altruistic way to ascend to godhood and spent his own eternity amongst mortals, sitting comfortably beside his father in a throne of his own? Then what then happened to Meg? What did she become? I mean, how would he ascend to godhood here? Because ascending to godhood in Greek mythology is pretty much just the gods decided, all right, you can become one of us now. The way he did it originally, by the way, was dying in a burning pyre while in constant pain from hydra poison. Also, anyway. Well, that is indeed how her tale differs from the original. After being abandoned by Hercules and left for dead, Meg finds herself floating down the river Styx, the final resting place of the lost souls of the dead, who are doomed to repeat their worst moments in life over and over again, until life is drained from them. Is that how the river Styx works in Hercules? Because the river Styx removes your memories, if I remember correctly. Meg never lost her desire to live, though. It burned brightly like a flame that could not be extinguished, fueled by the hatred she had for men and gods alike, who treated her like a means to an end, which I think is actually a pretty major thing for her story, that she always felt like she was being, like, used. Very sad. Every memory she relived added to the fire. Her first love leaving her, Hades manipulating and holding her soul ransom, and worse, Hercules leaving her under that pillar to die, knowing that every time she called to him, he had heard but had not answered. All these memories fueled her rage until it burned so hot the river itself seemed to boil around her. Charon, isn't it Chiron? The fated ferryman of the river noticed this anger and plucked her from the waters. No one usually makes it this long in the river, and so Megara made a deal with the ferryman, who told her the secret of the god's immortality and how to take it from her own in exchange for a seat in her new pantheon. Wait, how do you take the god's mortality? I want to know the secret. I mean, yeah, I know the river Styx is like the river in the underworld and all that. But isn't, like, if you're in the waters of the Styx, you, like, lose your memories? Armed with forbidden knowledge, Meg steals Hades' life essence from him, gaining his powers and leaving what remained of his rotting soul to join the waters of the river. When Meg We meet Meg after these events as she introduces herself to her subjects as the new queen of the underworld. Here she outlines her plan to take control of the underworld, which is the beginning. She will topple the very mountain of Olympus, taking an army of the undead with her to kill Hercules and any god that would stand in her way. She will strip them of their power, make it her own, and punish them for meddling with the lives of mortals for sport. But absolute power corrupts absolutely, and with Meg heading up a new pantheon of gods, a cycle already seen with the Titans will surely start again. Meg plans to take power, and she plans keeping it. Okay. So I guess we're getting from we got the Titans have done their thing, the gods did their thing, and now the mortals are doing their thing. Which, I mean, I think we're currently in the age of iron, according to the Greeks. So I guess this would be like the age of what? Coal? Whatever comes after iron and is worse. There's a second river that takes your memories. Got it. I mean, I know what you're... No, I'm pretty sure ambrosia doesn't really give them their immortality. They just are immortals, and they drink ambrosia. Well, you know what? Let's fact check it. Why not? I can literally just... I have Google. Ah, I see. Okay. Yeah, so ambrosia gives you immortality. It's not the source of the gods' immortality. They just casually eat stuff that would make people like us immortal instantly if we ate it. Okay, got it. Anyway, let's actually get into the song. I feel like it's been like 5 minutes, I think. It's an automatic too. Let's go.
Hello. I'm so sorry. Can you play something a little mellower? Thank you. Now I can see you all look
Whatever you say, ma'am.
confused. Who is this upstart speaking into Hades' mic? I'll make this short. Hades is gone, I killed him, blah, 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 blah. But hey, you have me now. And man, do I have some fun things planned. If there's a...
I genuinely can't imagine how she killed Hades. Because killing a god is hard, man. like cutting them up doesn't kill them. Well, usually it doesn't kill them. You just cut them up now.
Prize for unjudgment. I guess I've already won that. No man is worth the aggravation. That's ancient history, been there, done that.
She looks so tired. And, pardon the pun, dead. She's a powerful woman. You're true. You're right. I can't deny that.
Hercules left good ridden, she was just a hindrance to ya. Hades tried to rule ya. Now who's standing as the victor, finally free to rise up, take all that I'm owed and see you on your knees. Your leader's gone, he got tired of the view. A new queen's born, and I swear I'll be true. Just stay in line and we'll get on just fine. Scout's honor.
Scout's honor. I'll be a good ruler, I swear. By the way, by definition, she is a tyrant. By Greek definition. Although, also, by Greek definition, Zeus is also a tyrant. No, wait, is he? No, he's the son of the previous ruler, so no, he is actually not a tyrant. Meg is a tyrant because she usurped the position. The chair does not look comfortable. She's dead. It's fine. Probably.
You see, my plan is rather simple. See all Olympians bow down. That or maybe I'll just kill them. Well, either way, I'll end up with my crown. Now I see you're frightened. It's okay, I'm not a villain. I'm here to enlighten. All you gotta do is listen, follow, and obey me. You'll be okay, baby, when this world is mine.
I'm really loving the jazzy vibe. Zeus is a tyrant by every definition. Is he by the Greek definition? Because I know Greeks, like, it's specifically when you take... What the heck? Can you guys hear me right now? I just realized that my audio has been completely off today. Is this better or worse? Okay, interesting. My face cam was the thing that was recording my voice. What? That doesn't make any sense. Or does it? Oh, wait, no, I understand. Okay, I see. Okay, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Sorry, I got very, very worried for a moment. What was I saying? Right. Because, in, like, Greek times, tyrant had a slightly different definition. It wasn't, like, a purely negative thing. Yeah, it's a ruler who has absolute power and seized it without constitutional authority or inherited it. Yeah, so anybody is a tyrant as long as you take position that you didn't inherit or have the authority to have. Or, well, you know, their version of authority. So I don't know if Zeus counts as a tyrant, because he did usurp his father, but he's also technically in line for the throne. Would he be a tyrant because he's the youngest, like, child? No, wait, he, like, retroactively became the oldest, I think. No, yeah, by that definition, he's not a tyrant. By every other definition, however.
They ruled too long, time for humans to rise. Their little toys will bring back their demise. He'll curse the day that he walked out on me. When I finally rule, I'll be free of you. No one left to try.
Really sad that in this version, Zeus, Hercules, sorry, I was still thinking about Zeus. Hercules just like, damn, you know, she sacrificed herself for me, but she was mean to me before, so you get to stay in the underworld.
Control. No one left to hold your soul.
Damn, that's cold, Herc. That's real cold. Yeah, I probably wouldn't get over that either, to be honest with you. I definitely would plan revenge because of that.
No chance and no way you'll hold no sway on me.
Let's go. She got the fire hair now.
You'll all be gone and there'll be just one queen. Oh, with no laws, just do as I say. So take a knee, I don't care if you're scared. In time and they'll say I was cruel 'cause I can. Yeah, they'll say that I can.
I don't know. Based off the little blurb that we read down in the description, I feel like they won't say that. They'll be like, she was a tyrant in every definition of the word.
So, shall we begin?
Well, I personally, you know, support our newest overlord, Megara. By the way, a thing that like whole song reminded me of was like a web novel called Virtuous Sons, which is set in the Anthropomachia, I think, which is the time period after the gods have been slain. You know how there's like that Titanomachia, is that how it's pronounced? Where the gods slayed the Titans, and then the Gigantomachia. No. The Titanomachia is when the first Titan was overthrown, and then Uranus was. Was it Uranus? Or Kronos, I'm sorry, was the one in charge. This is when they overthrew Uranus. And then the Gigantomachia is when the gods overthrew it, and then in the story Virtuous Sons, now that gods have been slain, they're living in the Anthropomachia. It just reminded me of that. By the way, have you played the game Stray Gods? No, but on my own, I watched like a 2-hour-long video about like the green route or something. Really good game. It looks so good. Oh, you've read Virtuous Sons? Let's go! Another Virtuous Sons enjoyer. Alright, sorry, I'm like so distracted. I'm like in a million different places right now. Story. Once upon a time there was a princess, the fairest of them all, who defeated a dark evil and went on to live happily ever after. But what happens when you are no longer the fairest? What happens when the one thing you attribute your worth to is stripped away forever? You become the other person who's like, I must become the fairest of them all. We pick up with Snow White, where the film left off. The evil queen is dead, and Snow White has just woken up after being kissed by her prince. They all celebrate and return to the castle, where they get married and expect to live happily ever after. Except this is a villain story. It does not end happily. True. Following the inevitable death of the evil queen, Snow White inherits all her worldly possessions, her throne, rooms, clothing, spell books, potion, jewelry, and her mirror. Now, some would say the mirror is an innocent bystander in all this, simply answering the questions it was asked. But what if I told you the mirror had an agenda of its own, whispering into the ears of its owner? I mean, I could believe that very easily. I wouldn't trust an item that has sapience of any kind, to be honest with you. Like, if my toaster started speaking to me, I'd be a little worried, regardless of any potentially innocent intentions. Snow White was named the fairest of them all, but after having been betrayed by her stepmother, her heart isn't as pure as it used to be. She's grown bitter and distrustful of the people around her. The mirror becomes her closest confidant, and the mirror knows exactly what buttons to press to see Snow White fall to the dark side. Regardless, who can resist a mirror that can answer any question you might have? After a few years of those same questions begin to plaguing Snow White, and who can really blame her? It was always what she was always been most celebrated for. And so, mirror, who is the fairest of them all? And the cycle begins again. But what is the mirror's goal? Oh, there you go. You answered. Imagine if the mirror's just bored. That's so petty. It's like, man, you know, Snow White was pretty cool for a while, but I'm kind of bored. What if I start a little chaos? Just a little prank, a little goof and gaff. And when they ask me who's the fairest of them all, I say, this random person is the fairest of them all. Beer just wants drama. The beer is enjoying a live action show. I also do that when I'm bored. You've caused generational like chaos. Hey, Mir.
Once upon a time, there was a princess, the fairest of them all, who defeated a dark evil.
You're not about to read the whole thing I just read, right?
And went on to live happily ever after.
But like with a cool voice.
But what happens when
She
you
is.
are no longer the fairest?
This is so sad.
What happens when the one thing you attribute your worth to is stripped away forever?
Hey there. How you doing? Who doesn't destroy the universe when they're bored? I do that after taking a squip. The squips, they go too far every time. I really like the art, by the way. It's very nice. Like the whole style. It's very Disney, honestly, but also something else.
Mirror, tell me what you see today. What word of those beyond these walls?
It seems another has taken your place.
No, you told me that couldn't happen.
The fairest can only be fair for so long.
Very true, though, to be honest. But I mean, just because you're not the fairest of them all what? Is your marriage not happy as well? Because if you're still fine with your prince of a husband, everything should be chill, right? And it's like, well, I'm not the fairest, but I am happy. Or is that not even the case either?
But it's all I am. It's all I've ever been.
We all grow old, my dear. Beauty is power, and all you are nothing now.
But you're meant to help me.
Though there are ways you can gain it all back, I can show you how.
Listen, who wouldn't trust a face like that? A face that is definitely not up to any amount of mischief. That's the kind of face he's making.
Apples don't fall far from where the branch has been, but you'll do more than her.
I'm nothing like her. Just tell me what spell I need for this to disappear. Make things as they were.
I mean, shouldn't it be enough to just, like, make a spell that keeps you young? Or at least looking young, if not actually young, you know? Well, probably, but the mirror doesn't want that. The mirror wants drama, and casually fixing your problems is not dramatic. And also, usually magic has, like, a weird relations with, like, beauty. Where because wanting beauty is vain, so using magic to stay beautiful is usually costly. Because being vain is, of course, a criminal sin for magic.
All I've ever been, gone in seconds flat. Pretty as a rose was all I've ever had. Now I have a chance to fix what was replaced.
By the way, the fact that her beauty is the only thing she has kind of reminds me of Elizabeth from Elizabeth Das Musical. And let me be honest, beauty can get you very, very far. If you eventually, if you eventually learn to capitalize on it, it gets you super far. Love that one. Yeah, that was a great reaction as well. We watched it on the channel.
To let this kingdom know I won't take second place. I can't lose to some nobody. I won't back down. Take what I have earned all these years. I climb my crown. I cannot be beaten when it's all you had.
I love the way the mirror pushes her along, as she's saying what the mirror is saying, as if it's her own idea. When he's like, "Yeah, you can't be beaten, I can't be beaten," and all that. It's so good. Also, the layering was just done so well. Hey, mirror.
Story starts again anew. Watch as the chaos now ensues.
So, based off of narrative power, it's very likely that Snow White will be defeated by whoever is this new girl, or boy. Might be the fairest boy of them all. Who knows? That was great.
Tell me what spell I need for this to disappear.
Bro, we're already an hour and 14 minutes, and we're only 8 songs in. I'm talking too much. What if it's the fairest envy of them all? We don't judge here. Yeah, we don't judge here. It could be the fairest anything. Alright, Moana's villain song. Alright, this is important. Please read. Moana has always fought for what was right, what she believed in. But how far can such a pure soul be pushed until it breaks? How far until the ones they once cared for are no longer worth saving? In our story, we meet Moana just as she's about to return the heart of Te Fiti to its rightful place. But at the very last second, her mind has changed. Why did she falter with victory within her grasp? What was different? What could possibly have caused such a dramatic change in character? To answer that question, we'll need to travel back to the start of Moana's story. The fairest bird of them all. As before, the corruption is affecting more and more of the island. As it spreads, the crop begins to falter, and it won't be long before the people of the island starve. Despite this, Moana's father refuses to leave the safety of the island. So Moana, full of hope and optimism, plans to search for the answers beyond the horizon. After failing to sail past the formidable waves in her own boat, she discovers a hidden cave filled with voyaging boats, once owned by her ancestors. Emboldened by her discovery, Moana prepares to embark on the journey to save her land. However, just as she's about to leave, her father finds her and, in a turn from the original story, destroys all the ancestral boats to prevent Moana from leaving the island. To add insult to injury, he then imprisons Moana to stop her from escaping again, ensuring her safety. Moana is imprisoned for 6 months. My goodness. The darkness coursing through the island takes hold and causes destruction far worse than they could have imagined. The villagers start perishing. Moana, in efforts to save her peoples, petitions every single day to her father, begging him to let her leave and find a solution. But his pride and fears get in the way, and Moana's pleas fall on deaf ears. Stuck with her thoughts for 6 months, Moana becomes bitter and resentful. Every life lost is a life she could have saved. If only her father and the people who had followed him had not allowed their fears to rule their hearts and minds. Losing her grandmother was devastating for Moana, but the loss of her mother to the darkness was the final straw. Something within her snapped, and the girl once full of hope had been changed forever. In her grief, Moana hatches a plan, originally a very altruistic and heroic plan to save the island and see no one die again, but in reality it becomes a selfish plan, simply to prove her father wrong and see him shamed for what he's allowed. Moana lies in wait for the perfect opportunity and eventually manages to make her escape. The surveillance on her cell has lessened as more of the villagers have become unwell. Yeah, they're kind of like dying, so there are less guards to guard her. And she manages to salvage a boat from the destruction her father wrought. We now follow the events of the film with a much darker Moana leading us through. I wonder how our interactions with Maui went. We eventually reach the climactic moment of the story. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read so hard. As Moana is returning the heart to Te Fiti, she hesitates, looking at the heart in that moment, and changes her mind. She's already proven to her father wrong, but sweeter revenge would be have him watch the empire he's built burn to the ground. It wasn't really much of an empire. It was like a small kingdom, if that. The island refused to find a solution, and it led to her mother's death. Her father refused to find a solution, and now she has one, but they don't deserve it. They don't deserve to be saved anymore. Now we meet a new Moana. As she's changed her mind, keeps the heart, and returns home to watch those she once cared for perish because of their foolishness. She no longer sees the point of saving them, so she'll watch them burn instead. So Moana just lets the world end, pretty much, is what I'm getting. Fair enough.
I've been staring at the water long as I can remember. I can remember. I had been the perfect daughter long as I can remember, but I don't remember.
I immediately love the way that just how the vibe changed to a very spiteful song, you know? It's like, I've been a perfect daughter. They sang it with like resentment.
Every claim I stake, every
theater kid, you're like trying to build up a harem here. You want all of them to marry you.
Pleaded shot, every shout I make scattered to the dust, till all those I know are lost down below where I cannot reach. See your weakness, your pride, and your fear, it's blinding, and no one knows how more will go. But you laughed and you shoved me.
I'll be honest, I'm surprised Te Fiti let you go, considering her whole rage situation.
Away, you defied me, and now you'll know.
She's even ignoring the sea. Is like, go away. I know what you want me to do, but I'm too angry now.
When you push, you'll soon find out how far I'll go. How far I'll go. Yeah, now you'll know. We could have fixed this so long.
I do like how we're like going in reverse of seeing all the various trials and tribulations she passes. Although this time they're kind of just like letting her go by.
Long ago, famine sprouts from your depths. Now reap what you've sown. I knew everybody on this island, but because of your silence, you've brought about all our demise. You spread fear to all of those left around you. Now this fear, it's around you.
Jesus, the island is just completely dead.
Darkness fills the skies. I could save them all, I could stop this curse, I could heal this land, put us in reverse. You shut me out and your actions hurt. You abandoned me. I once thought that I had a loving father.
Jeez, so messed up. But again, is she just gonna let the whole world die? Because I'm assuming that the whole world will eventually die because of this, right? It only makes sense to me.
But when you step on that water and our happy little world came crashing down, now you'll pay for all the lives that you've broken, for the many lies that were spoken. You'll watch your people drown.
Which is very ironic considering he wanted his people to avoid the water. And they're not literally drowning, but they still drown, even away from the sea.
All these useless and meaningless deaths there on your head. They take no pride in seeing them die. But you won't find a savior in me, I guarantee. That now you'll know how far I'll go.
Putting the stone at the top, essentially claiming that she's the new ruler. She's but also it's like you can't, it's a stone that you can't really put other stones on top of, in a way saying that she's the final ruler, which considering that everyone's dying, it's pretty true. I'm gonna hope that the world doesn't just like end in this world. Like eventually Tefiti will find it and be like, oh cool, I found it. Pew. Kind of weird that Tefiti just let her leave with this. That's what I was saying. I'm like, damn, she really just let her go. Because they were like face to face, like right here to each other. Wasn't Moana literally like gonna die if she hadn't pulled out the stone and then had her be like, oh, wait a second, that's mine. What is a woman that pretty? Let her leave. I guess Tefiti agrees with you. All right. Mirabel's villain song. I've apparently watched this as well. Also, apparently Anna's song, which is next. I don't remember any of these. Story. Mirabel has always tried to be understanding, tried to accept that her family was meant to shine, and she was meant to blend to the background. She tried to be loving and kind and helpful, but her family responded to that kindness with cruelty. They refused to see Mirabel as a valued member of the family, and in our story, instead of forgiving and trying to connect with her, Mirabel rejects them. Our Mirabel has allowed her disdain and hatred to grow, and now that darkness blinds her. Her pure heart tarnished by the bitterness that remained set on revenge. If they won't see her as a valued member of the family, then she'll take away that which they treasured most. To be loved and valued less than a candle, it's laughable, really. Man, lots of these characters are just being weak. That's a thing that I've always thought in my mind when it comes to like villain stuff. Because in my perspective, a villain story, which is essentially the character went through the exact same stuff, but they decided to become evil, has always made me feel... So this one is just weaker. This is a weaker person than the main character. Don't call your 38,000 wives. Which is why there like has to be enough changes for me to be convinced, okay, I can see them becoming evil in these circumstances. But sometimes I'm like, really? Like, all those like villain Deku, like from My Hero Academia, like AU stuff, a lot of the times I'm just like, so they had the same life, but they became a villain, essentially. Because they met one person and got a villain power instead. Like, they met All For One, I think, yeah? And got powers from him instead. And to me, I'm just like... So this guy's just weaker. Because I couldn't see Deku doing that, even if he did get a power from All For One. is bringing you back? I know. Mirabel totally could have been a villain. Yeah, she was a weaker person, she could be a villain. But she wasn't. Anyway, and so it's about time Mirabel placed that mirror in front of her family, showing them exactly what she sees. Peppa, a frightened coward, hiding in her storms and constantly running from the truth. Dolores, like her mother, too afraid of the truth and of what it means to speak up. Isabella, putting on performance every day to avoid what facing herself could truly mean, when facing her thorns could mean. And Alma, the matriarch, sitting so high above them that all she can do, that she can no longer see her family, no longer see what truly matters. Every single member of the family saw Mirabel suffering, saw Bruno suffering, and chose to ignore it. And so they are no longer worthy of her love, no longer deserving of all the sacrifices that Mirabel is made to make this family work. And so the thing they love and value most will be taken from them. Maybe then they'll live what truly matters. That's if they make it out alive. Oh, a bunch of people are about to die. What? Theater kid?
We don't talk about Bruno, no, no, no. We don't talk about Bruno. But you made him walk away. He left himself, or so you say, but I've heard another take. You hide in your storm and close off from the rain, but don't see the damage in your wake.
Wasn't her whole thing mainly that she had to like suppress her emotions because her emotions would actively affect the people around her, so you had to constantly be happy essentially so that the sun would shine?
Bruno, then you turn on me. You whisper as if I don't see the fear, the dread of what I'll be. Oh, but we don't talk about Bruno. We don't talk about Bruno.
No.
Every sound you heard, but your silence was deafening. It's decimal, despicable to save yourself from meddling, or maybe you're too scared to make a sound at all.
Which is very ironic because she's like, she gossips a ton, but she never stands up for her sister. Oof.
Don't stand around the border, it's going overboard. Let the others drown, but you reach to pull them back ashore. Now the boat's sinking and everyone's going down. A constant sign of all that you lack. She's a curse, she's to blame, so quick turn your back. Well, I'm done playing nice, so maybe think twice when you don't talk about Bruno. No. We don't talk about Bruno.
To me, the saddest part is that Mirabel is about to kill Casa. He did nothing wrong, Casa. Ugh. The innocent poor house.
Flowers bloom when you walk in a room, but I see all the thorns that you hide. Poison rose, you might think no one knows, but I see right through your disguise.
To be fair, Mirabel didn't really hide her opinion on her sister there.
Suffered all this heartache, I sacrificed for your sake as you ruled and you reigned from above. Well, now my pain is ending, I'm done with this pretending, finally free from chasing your love, free from your love. Time to bring this family down, get out the villain in your face now. The sun's run out and there's just you and me. How's it feel to see
The music is so good, I'm dying.
your family now? I claim all that I've lost. Do you understand what your apathy cost? It's your end.
Oh, what's his face like reaching out for her while everyone runs? Oh no.
Of days and I'll still hear you say, we don't talk about Bruno. Should have talked about Bruno.
There it goes. The power. That's so sad. And everybody died.
He left himself, or so you say.
I'm sure
Heard another
I'm sure Mirabel won't have any consequences for that. Because, again, she doesn't have powers to stop anybody.
take. You hide in your storm and close up.
What, love Mirabel? I thought that was the point. Yeah, well, she's chasing their love. So now she's free from chasing it. I think is the idea. Okay. Anna's villain song. So we had... we had the other one, which was Elsa's villain song. Now we have Anna. Well, we'll see what Anna's up to, I guess. Anna's been mistreated for years, forced to spend her days alone with no friends or family to keep her company. That's true. She grew up surprisingly well-adjusted, considering that. She watches the time tick by, and the dreams of her day as family could heal. They could start again. As we see in the film, Anna begins to hope again on Coronation Day. This is the opportunity she needs for life to change. She meets Hans and is infatuated instantly, but Elsa loses control when Anna brings up the subject of marriage, and we see their relationship break down, and Elsa freezes Arendelle. Fast forward towards the middle of the film. Anna confronts Elsa at her palace, trying again to heal their relationship to convince Elsa they can solve this together. In her turmoil, Elsa accidentally shoots some ice magic straight into Anna's heart. This is where our story changes slightly. Instead of slowly turning Anna into ice, the magic slowly turns her heart to ice and corrupts her hopeful and kind spirit into something evil and cold. Slowly, tendrils of ice reach their way to the very core of who Anna is, freezing and changing her very being. The process is gradual, so Anna and Kristoff try to find a solution by visiting the trolls, but have no luck. They're sure there's no curse for this kind of magic. Anna's spirit is further corrupted, becoming darker and darker by the day until hopes left her with nothing but a weak memory. We now meet Anna as Hans betrays her at the end of the film. It is this moment that Anna's heart has completely frozen over, and a new, far more sinister Anna is awoken. Upon hearing about Hans' betrayal, Anna isn't left in shock as she was in the film. Why would she be? She's far less naive, and her ice-cold heart learned not to trust people days ago. His plan was obvious. That's such a funny line, considering how unobvious his betrayal was. Literally everyone was surprised by it. Surprisingly well adjusted, she accepted to marry a man she knew less than a day. What do you mean? Hey, I mean, like, she could surprisingly interact with people at all, fairly decently, all things considered. Which, considering she had no social interaction at all, very impressive. It's kind of impressive she could speak English at all. And so she reaches towards him with a chilling stare and turns him to ice. In our story, not only has Anna become evil, but her own ice powers have also awoken. Anna's focus returns to her sister. Now her mind is clear of any love and hope she has. She only has her darkest feelings to dwell on. Elsa left her to rot in that castle, never once checking on her or expressing any kind of love or affection. All Anna wanted, all she needed, was someone to talk to, someone to share her burdens with. But that had never been Elsa. Anna had tried so hard to make a connection, but she was done trying. If they weren't going to be sisters, then they'll be enemies. And so Anna leaves her castle to find Elsa and end things between them for good. Wow. So this is for the first time in forever.
Oh, Hans. Surely you didn't think I bought your whole act. I should be thanking you, really. You were the last push I needed. Interesting. Now where's Elsa?
Again, it's so funny to say that because before this, if you watch the movie, there's literally no indication that Hans is evil. He is genuinely just a great guy from every moment until the inevitable betrayal which is so odd, by the way. I don't know why they did it like that. They didn't sprinkle even a hint of his evilness. So it's so funny to hear her say, "Oh, it was so obvious," when was it really?
Won't live in your shadow anymore, forever shut behind these doors, imprisoned as you rule and you dictate, pandering to your every call, pointlessly talking to the walls. Finally, I'm knocking down the gates. This really isn't anything personal. I just can't have you getting in my way. The story.
No, Kristoff. He did nothing wrong.
He's gonna change and go my way for the first time in forever. I'm getting what I really want for the first time in forever.
What do you think the public thinks about this? Is bro, the first queen literally is freezing the entire country. And now the second princess is also freezing the entire country. This family is cursed. What is with these people?
I'll have my say and you can walk. I'm stronger now than ever, and it's time I take my place for the first time in forever.
I love the claws. I imagine they're made of like ice. That's so sick.
Oh, nothing's in my way. Did you think I just keep taking it?
Oh, hey, Elsa. Welcome back.
Letting you crush my self-worth bit by bit.
Right, she was running like towards the town after she's like, oh gosh, I gotta solve this somehow.
Well, now you learn just who you're messing with. The honor you knew is dead and gone. Finally done being your pawn.
How is this fight gonna work? Because the cold never bothered Elsa anyway. So, like, can they even, like, beat each other? Or is she gonna need to make, like, an ice hammer and just bonk, you know? Right to the skull.
Which begs the question, do I let you live? Oh, don't look so surprised. Surely you can't have seen this going any other way. Get down and bow, it's coronation day. For the first time in forever. I'm not looking for your love. For the first time in forever, I am free to rise above. I don't care for your approval. We have nothing more to say. For the first time in forever. Nothing's in my world. None of this had to happen.
Oh my goodness, the pauses. They're killing me.
Elsa, we could have been sisters. But I've run out of chances. And you've run out of time. Do you wanna build a snowman? I've lost count of all the times I tried getting you to talk to me, to open up and see I was yours and you were mine.
By the way, unironically, I could see this Anna becoming like this. Like if the movie had come out and this would, like, the twist that Anna would end up becoming the villain because of the isolation and being alone, I could have seen that happening. Obviously, with the way her personality was at the beginning of the movie, it's very unlikely that she would end up this way. But if you gave her a different personality to fit the isolation, I could easily buy it. Aren't they still sisters? No, she's disinheriting her. She's like, we're not even family anymore. Get away from me. I'm gonna kill you.
Stop when you were hurting, united to the end. You froze me out completely.
Oh, her hair doesn't even have, like, strikes through it. She's just fully ice now.
I just wanted a friend. For the first time in forever, I can see clearly what to.
Oh, well, she got free from that ice pretty easily. That's what I'm saying. She's barely even a problem here.
Do. There's one thing that always held me back, and that one thing was you. Now you've had your last tomorrow, 'cause your time is up today. For the first time in forever.
In an actual fight, Elsa is at a disadvantage just because I don't think she wants to hurt her sister as much as her sister really wants to hurt her.
Nothing's in my way. Nothing's in my way.
Damn, I guess Anna's just stronger than Elsa here. What, getting cold feet? They should have said that. That would have been a very Disney move to do. It was like, Anna's being like, what, getting cold feet? As she blasts her with ice. Oh, I love me a good pun. I should have made that pun. Damn. You know what? I should have just pretended that I said it, and that chat doesn't had nothing. Oh, that was so good. Okay, so this was the 11th song out of 23. I think by the end of stream we could probably react to 2 more, and then we'll react to the next, like the remaining ones, next week.
You never thought we'd end up.
All right. Wait, let me read the story before you start yapping. All right. All right. This is Merida's villain song, "Touch the Sky" from Brave. All right. We begin at the end of Merida's story, but with a small change. What would happen if Merida reached her mother a few seconds later? After all that work and all that suffering they endured, they couldn't save each other, in turn sealing both of their fates. Ah, okay. As Merida reaches her mother, the sun rises and Queen Eleanor is turned into a bear permanently, but without any of her previous memories. She's scared and doesn't recognize Merida. Oh, so she just turned into an actual bear after this. Yeah, I hope to see you there, theater. And so does what any bear would do. She attacks the perceived threat. Merida tries to defend herself, but in confusion is caught up by her mother's claw across her face. Oof. I'm surprised she survived. A bear attack is... They're very strong. The fight continues, and it becomes clear very quickly that this is not one Merida will win. The clan scramble, unsure what to do, but Merida's life isn't dangerous, so her father does what any caring parent would do and neutralizes the threat. Merida is left weeping and lost as she holds her mother's dying body. Her father tries to explain that he had no other choice but to kill the bear and imprison its cubs, but Merida is inconsolable. Yeah, I mean, like, fair enough, but also, oof. I mean, in that situation, what could you do? Did the people know that the bear was the mother by this point? I think so. But I feel horrible if I was like, bro, I just killed my wife to save my daughter. What is my life? Following this, the clans call for a return to tradition, saying that to separate ourselves from decades of law is dangerous, as Merida herself has demonstrated. Is what the queen wanted. Merida's father agrees to the law, keen to return to tradition in hopes that it would keep them safe as it always has, in the way of honoring his wife's memory. Merida must marry. Merida is furious to have gone to the lengths that she had and to have sacrificed so much only to end up back where she started, while also grieving the loss of her mother. There's only so far she could be pushed before the laws and traditions send her past the brink. She tried to empathize, tried to lead their people down a better path, and they've given her nothing but false promises back. They killed her mother, and her father killed her mother. Okay, see, in this situation, I'm considerably less, like, understanding of Merida's villainy, to be honest with you. Like, I know, yeah, they killed my mom, but also, I feel like you have to be a little understanding of the situation, right? Like, it was rough, and it's very sad that this is how things ended, but they saved your life. Merida feels suffocated, and her mind is running in circles, replaying the events of the last few days. Her mind is screaming to do something to bring her mother back. Not possible. To go to the witch with another spell, because I worked so well last time. But there's one thing she could do that could mean lasting change, that would bring justice for her mother's death. Justice for all the people that are oppressed under this patriarchal regime. If she did nothing, who's to say this wouldn't be just continued happening to those who came after her? Forces like they didn't want, but with no power to make change. And so Merida leaves to destroy the old ways for good. So she kills everybody, is what I'm getting.
Here. Never considered I might lose those I loved, only to be forced into a life I didn't want. And I never thought I would be capable of what I'd have to do next.
Man, that's the only scar? I thought the, like, across the face would be like this, you know? Also, although if it's for the face, scars have to be very deep on the face to, like, actually scar. Because I remember seeing a video, like, it was a short of a person who got, like, a massive cut across the face. He was, like, bleeding a ton. And by the next day, he was, like, showing, like, the progress. And it healed, and there was, like, practically no scar at all. You heal fast, apparently, on the face. My goodness. Theater is just hunting. Well, no, Merida's hunting. Yes. I am pretty sure that's her mother's pelt.
And a cool mist has fallen, and the sharp and bright. Gentle calls ring from the heavens, lead me out into the night. I will rise, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the
Oh, yeah, so we're literally just gonna watch her kill a bunch of people.
sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky.
Oh, wait, whoa. If you have a scar on your cheek, it has to go so deep you see bone for it to scar. I totally didn't learn that for researching Hunter form. See, there we go. That's what I'm saying. It has to be really deep for there to be scars on the face. Which is very interesting. I wonder why that's the case. Or I guess it has to be also wide, potentially. Because if it's a shallow cut, but it's wide enough, I guess that could probably leave a scar.
I will fight for those before me, raise up allies left unseen. I am free to claim my story, destroy those that stand between. I will rise.
This is really well done, like, combat, by the way. He's like obliterating them, which makes sense because in the movie she was like heads and shoulders above them all in skill.
I will fly, chase the wind and touch the.
Oh my goodness, theater, thank you for pointing that out. I hadn't even processed that. Her accent is really good. I didn't even, like, it was so good that I didn't even, like, register in my brain she was doing an accent. My goodness.
The sky. I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky.
What accent? Yeah, that's how good it is. My goodness. She is obliterating them in the only way that, like, a fictional character can. Because numbers are an overwhelming thing. Like, a person against multiple people, I think no matter, like, how good you are, there's, like, a ceiling of how many people you can fight at once. Although technically she isn't fighting that many people at once. She's been like taking them down 2 to 3 on one. Flashback to Thorfinn from Vinland Saga. She has no enemies. Damn. That was a crazy shot. Does no one have any idea this attack is happening? Because they're not, like, grouping up, you know, getting ready to take down this threat. She sounds kind of British, though, which makes sense because Lydia's British. Maybe.
See the old big news, all that suppressed us has died, and to see that day.
What is this blue flame she's following, by the way? Anyone have any idea what that's about? Because I noticed it. And it's very cool. It kind of reminds me of, like, the guidance of grace in Elden Ring. Is that a thing from the movie? Like, the flames that guide her?
There are prices that have to be paid. No man escapes from progress is made. I will rise, I will fly, chase the wind and touch the sky. I will fly.
No idea how she's gonna get it.
Chase the wind and touch the.
Oh, I guess she's getting out of it with bear powers. That makes sense.
I'll touch the sky. Touch the sky.
Okay. So they are from the movies. They're like will-o-wisps. Okay. Interesting. No, he took an arrow to the knee.
I'll touch the sky.
I'm gonna be real. You're crying, but you just killed a lot of people. like, I don't really have any sympathy for you. The spirits of the dead guiding her, I guess. I don't know. Good for her. I guess hopefully the world becomes better. But generally murder isn't the right path for things. Generally. I don't know her life. Maybe it'll be perfect for her. Or she'll become a warmonger, as this is a villain song, you know? The music is great though. Alright. Where are we? Okay, this is gonna be the last song we react to. Anastasia's villain song. Journey to the Past. Anastasia? Is this from the movie Anastasia? Welcome to and welcome to Russia in sorry, I'm so tongue tied. Welcome to Russia in the 1900s. Our story follows a similar trajectory of the original film we all know and love. The Tsar and his family were on the throne, leaving one lost, lonely Anya. Jump forward 10 years or so, and Anya's been on a whirlwind journey to discover who she really is, culminating in her meeting her grandmother for the first time. To tell her that she's the lost princess Anastasia, full of hope and relief to finally have a family she dreamed of, and Anya's heart races with anticipation, ready to return to her life. But unlike the original story, where Anya presents the music box and is welcomed back with open arms, her grandma rejects her claim. Oh no, we're getting another guide to Gentleman's Guide to Murder and Love, or Love and Murder, or whatever it was. Even the music box and pendant can't convince her of Anya's legitimacy. She accuses Anya of lying, telling her that she was caught into believing she was the lost princess Anastasia by Dmitri, and has now come to harass an old grieving woman. Anya takes a step closer and tells her, and her grandma calls the guards. Anya races outside, but as she exits the house, all she sees are police lying in the streets. Desperately, she looks around for Dmitri. Surely he didn't lie to her. Surely he didn't leave her, only to find he has abandoned her in her time of need, betraying her just as she was always afraid he would. Heartbroken and furious, Anya races to the streets of Paris. So why did he abandon her here? JD would fit right in with these people. Honestly, yeah, he'd want to make the world burn. Eventually, after what feels like hours of running, Anya finds a quiet spot to hide away from any threats. In this moment, she finally has time to collect her thoughts. She has lost the one purpose she believed to be her family. She has lost the man she thought she loved, and she has lost all hope. Dmitri was lying the whole time. He didn't care for her. He saw a vulnerable woman to make a quick buck from, and ran when it was his neck on the line. Is that true at all to the movie? Her grandmother, cruel and callous, refused to even consider what Anya had told her and would rather lock her away than have a discussion. But Anya knows who she is. She's the lost princess Anastasia, heir to the throne. She felt it in her bones. She finally had her identity and wouldn't give up that easily. As she slips silently through the streets, her mind turns towards the family and life she could have had things gone differently. Sure, she can blame Dmitri, she can blame her grandmother, but those truly at fault were those who killed her family and stole her birthright. The people that celebrated her family demise. And so she wanders, and Anastasia plots another path to the throne. If she couldn't convince her grandmother of her legitimacy, she would have to force her way there. She had never desired the throne, but she had been too powerless for too long and refused to allow anyone to have an opportunity to determine her fate ever again. And so Anastasia's plan begins. The Romanov curse is still alive and well, and Rasputin is coming for her, and so she sets a trap on a snowy bridge. Oh my goodness, the story just keeps going. Lydia's like... Lydia's becoming quite an author with these, like, stories. And little Anya has finally come to give up this foolish game, exclaims Rasputin from across the frost-covered divide. There's no point anymore, says Anya as she steps closer. They abandoned me, my grandmother, Dmitri, my family. I have nothing left. Crocodile's tear fall, and her eyes zone, the reliquary tied to Rasputin's belt. Rasputin's guard down, feeling he's finally won his prize. He gloats as Anastasia creeps closer. Yes, it's true, I suppose. Oh, I always saw it ending like this. You crawling in defeat to finally end the charade. Smart, really. It would have been exhausting to Anya grabs it for the reliquary? Snatching it from off of Rasputin's belt and makes a run for it. She runs and runs until she finally feels safe to stop. For a second, she's perplexed. Surely the reliquary's spirit should have attacked her by now. But nothing. If anything, they seem perfectly calm within her grasp. And so she speaks to the demons inside. I don't know if you can hear me, but I have a deal for you, she whispers into the night. Make me the most powerful person in all of Russia, so that no one can ever take what is mine from me again, and I will rise up as empress and allow you the true power you deserve over an entire empire. And the rest, as they say, is history. Oh boy. Yeah, Lydia absolutely should make a JD here. I was like, oh my goodness, a twist on the whole making heroes into villains. Make a villain into a hero. That'd be so good. Oh, I love that. Good. Ooh. I love this music. It's already so good.
Presenting Her Imperial Highness, the last surviving daughter of the Romanov line, and your Empress, Anastasia.
Man, and this... So, this is after all of that happened. Anastasia is, with the help of demons, is now Empress once more. The Romanovs rule.
Russia, hear me now. Your new queen is speaking. A new age is finally here.
The old world is dead. Long live the new world.
Yes, the rumors true, the legend and the mystery. Bow down now or live in fear. Yes, starting and now you finish last. The time is up, the die is cast.
Oh, so she's making this whole demon thing very public. He's like, yes, you may have heard, I am in fact a warlock. Bow down. I bet they would have thought, it's like, yes, you heard, it's true, I am a Romanov. No, her reveal is considerably more serious than that.
So run and hide and do it fast. You stole my family and my past.
I'm very curious of the in between her stealing the thing and then getting to this position where she's a ruler. How did that happen? How did that happen that everyone was like kind of happy about it? It's like, wow, she's here, the Romanov, Anastasia, and then the demon reveal.
There's a debt that's owed, justice to deliver. You'll be forced to right this wrong. Thought that I was dead, thought the past was over. This ghost been here all along. Yes.
You know, I feel like this isn't the best decision to make as a ruler, because if you reveal you're colluding with dark forces and are actually, you know, to a certain degree evil, you might inspire another rebellion. You know, like the previous one, like the one that killed the other Romanovs. Then again, I'm sure your demonic forces can help you. Demons usually lose, by the way, so...
Starting and now you finish last. The time is up, the die is cast. So run and hide and do it fast.
And see, a family is about to be murdered, and I don't think Anastasia cares.
You stole my family and my past. Home,
Wherever this capital is now like a hell.
love, family. Thought I'd found them, but then how was I to know?
In the actual movie, was Dimitri like tricking Anya? Is that like an actual thing? I need some details.
Home, love, family. It's a lie, they just abandon you and go. Home, love, family. I will never be complete.
At the start, yes, he was tricking her. Okay. And then what? Does he eventually come around to believe that maybe she really is the Princess Anastasia?
I will never be complete.
Or does he just be like, well, I actually do love her? Or like, you know what? Whatever. I'll check out the movie one day myself.
I will never be complete until I find you.
That's such good art, and the flashing of the demons behind her. Ooh.
Now you understand. I'll take Russia hostage, curse to suffer. This I vow. But you're the special few, blessed and
Damn, she managed to capture them.
join my table. You're my brand new family now. Yes, let this be a sign. Justice will be mine. I'll have vengeance for my past and bring me home.
You know, there are worse fates than being forced to become her family. You know, there's certainly worse fates. You could be killed by a demon instead. I love that. Like, thanks for watching. That was added. That was so cool. Fiend. Ah, that was. My goodness. This whole stream flew by so fast. Because, surprisingly, or maybe not if you knew her already, every single song from Lydia the Bard was a banger. I loved it. I loved every single one of them. The lyrical changes, she's such a beautiful singer. Genuinely, every song she sang, some more or less than others, but was just a feast on the ears. They were just a genuine pleasure to listen to. That was great. I loved it. I loved all like the writing, the increasingly more complex stories with each passing video, which just goes to show that Lydia was. I'm still thinking about Anastasia. That Lydia is like putting more and more into the writing and like making these stories make sense, which I genuinely really appreciate. I'm a bit of a writer myself, so I can appreciate that craftsmanship of getting more writing done. If there's anything you've learned from the stream, it's that you're not straight. I feel like you kind of knew that already, but good for you. Alright. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed that. This was a really fun stream. I had like 5 viewers the whole time on Twitch, which was crazy. Actually, considering that number of viewers, I should probably raid somebody, right? Like, that's right. That's like a thing that people do, I'm pretty sure. You know, they like pass their viewers on to somebody else. Should I do that? I don't really raid people generally. I don't know. Can I just raid people? Is there etiquette to that I don't know? You can do that? Yeah, it's like a whole thing where like you're ending your stream, just pass it on to another person. I don't know. Anyone live? There's a guy playing Sky. I don't know if anyone's doing like anything similar to us, like reactions or stuff. It's like on this like streamer Discord, there's like people playing games mostly. Whatever. We'll do it next time. See you guys around. And now it is time for the outro song. Him. This is the outro song, toot. This is the outro song, toot. This is the outro, outro. This is the outro song, toot. This is the outro song. This is the outro song. This is the outro song. This is the outro song, toot. Bye. Bye. Decided to sing the outro song myself today. Bye.